and welcome back to From Our Mind to Yours. I'm Destiny,
I'm D'Angelo.
and today we are going to talk about on episode 2, season 2.
It's been a while.
Obviously, but free will. You can pick it back up whenever you want to.
Like
Who
we
says
said
there's any
before,
rules against doing that?
right timing, right feeling. This is it. We've came back. Okay.
We're back. I won't go as far to say we for sure are going to have another episode, but you're going to have to stick around to find out.
Exactly.
But we're going to talk about identity in this episode. And at the end, we're going to have a 3-question random trivia. And if D'Angelo gets at least 2 out of the 3 correct, he does not have to take a shot. But if he gets 2 wrong, he has to take a shot. And
Yeah.
when we do our next episode, I'll be the one in the hot seat for the trivia.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
without further ado, we're going to talk about identity. I had brought up to D'Angelo that I think
Get back here.
right. Where's it going? All of a sudden it's hot in here. Saw these lights.
Probably.
D'Angelo wanted to turn the fan on, but I feel like
You're going to get too cold. You're going to ask for a blanket.
no, not even that. I just feel like you might be able to hear it. I don't want to.
Oh, the fan? Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't want that. I mean, you could probably filter
There's
out
always
that noise,
air conditioning, but our air conditioning is kind of loud too.
Yeah. Fuck it. Go ahead.
Anyways, identity. I was telling D'Angelo, I think it's interesting. We're kind of like polar opposites when it comes to this, at least currently in our life and so far. He very much so is like firm and steady on his identity, who he is,
I
What
know
hi-
exactly who I am.
what his beliefs are.
What makes up me.
Right. And that's not to say that I'm the complete opposite in the sense where like I don't have any clue who I am. It's more so I feel like I've been in for the past several years in a stage or phase of my life where I need to I'm trying to try out new things and figure out what exactly is me, what I like to do, what interests me. Um and I wanted to talk about that because it's been a struggle trying to nail down what my identity is. Like,
Well, and I see what you mean, trying to keep firm of what's you, because we just recently talked about how, like, you've tried so many things, so many new things that 1, 2 times of trying it, like, no, that's not me. Or, you know, consistency is a great way to figure out if something is actually for you or not, if that makes up your identity. You know what I mean?
yeah, because I'll try something. Like I've done this several times with vlogging. I'll get excited about it again and I'll make a vlog or record a vlog and post it, and then it's like completely out of my mind, like, okay, done with that. And then I
As
think
if it
about
never
it.
happened.
Yeah, and then I think about it a week later, like, girl, you have not picked up the camera. And then I'm like, do I actually want to do vlogging? Because I feel like I probably would have felt that I wanted to pick it up and vlog again.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it's like, okay, you haven't even given it enough of a chance. I was explaining
Exactly.
this to D'Angelo. Women run on a average 30-day cycle for our menstrual cycle. Therefore, our hormones, our energy levels, how we feel about certain things, what we're going to have the energy to do, um, is going to fluctuate throughout those 30 days. So, how am I going to try something for 2, 3 days and then a week later decide, no, that's really not for me? And that sounds kind of vague, but I feel like when it comes to something like what I'm doing with self expression via videos, that's not you have to learn how to do that and learn how you want to come across in your videos, how you want to express yourself, how you want it to look and sound like.
Yeah.
That's not something that you're going to obtain trying it one time and being like,
And it doesn't take 3 days, 2 days.
no, I definitely think you gotta give it a good consistent try.
Yeah, and I think a lot of what she's talking about and the reason why she goes back and forth and thinks these things is because she's a pretty heavy overthinker. She knows that. And a lot of these thoughts, a lot of what we've called the ego, The ego tries to take us to a place in our mental where we are safe and comfortable, where there's no room for growth and there's no room for change. And the part of her that she's trying to figure out who she is as a person and obtain that identity that she wants and knows that she knows how to express, the ego tries to pull it back to where, no, you're already good here. You don't need to get past this part. You're fine.
Mm.
Do your 1 2 days and then you come back to me. The ego tries to reel us back in instead of allowing our higher self to take the reins and to pull the creative part out of us that allows us to change and recreate our identity and make our identity something that we wake up every day and are excited to express and experience in that life because we've solidified and grounded that identity in who we are.
But see, that sounds amazing, and I love what you're saying, right?
That's
No, 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 no. And this is the only thing I'm gonna say about that is because coming from a man, that makes sense. That's doable.
because it's already made sense to me.
Well, no, I mean just coming from a
Oh.
man because as a woman, I'm not gonna wake up every single day and feel excited about what I'm going to go do and what I'm going to go create. The week
Yeah.
before my period, everything's making me cry. I'm irritated about everything. On my
Yeah,
period,
yeah, that
I'm
makes sense.
uncomfortable. So it's like there's other factors that as a woman, it doesn't, I don't want to say it makes it harder because we just deal with that our whole lives anyways until you have menopause and then that's a whole other
A whole other thing.
host of issues. But yeah, that's definitely I agree with what you're saying because your
Yeah.
ego tries to keep you safe, right? So like expressing yourself and putting yourself out there is when it's not something that you're used to doing that often,
Hmm.
it's going to feel scary and foreign and your ego's going to be like, "Oh, no, 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 we don't like that."
We don't like that.
That's
Yeah.
why I feel like I need to give it just recording in general. I don't have to always make vlogs, but like give it a really good try consistently as to the best that I can without just giving up because there are so many other factors involved that could sway me in this direction, excuse me, in that direction. And another point that we've talked about was astrology.
Yeah.
So you know, you have your big three, right?
Before you go into astrology,
Okay.
because me talking about what I wanted to talk about would have like just jumped all over the place.
Okay.
I think what you were just saying about like for a woman and the cycle and blah blah blah. I think with an already
Blah
established.
blah blah is crazy.
Sorry, I verbatim didn't know exactly how to recite what you just
Okay.
said. That's why I used blah 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 for those
Okay.
words.
We'll
Um,
take that.
if you already had a solidified, grounded identity, then those things wouldn't affect as much.
No.
You would know how to deter from
How to
those
navigate that. Yeah.
preconditioned thoughts from before
Yeah.
and how to navigate through those a lot easier
Mm-hmm.
with an already solidified and grounded identity. So I agree with what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
but it could also be counteracted in that way.
For sure. That's why, like, I know I'm not going to be in this phase forever. It's not always going to feel like an exploration and trying to figure out what is important to me, what I like to do, my interests, what I want to pursue. I'm at some point going to figure it out. I'm going to get tired and I feel like I'm pretty close to
I'm
getting
pretty tired
tired
of
of
this shit,
experimenting if not there already.
Yeah, yeah.
I could say pretty firmly, I'm pretty sure I'm done experimenting. I know what I want to do is in front
Been
of my
there, done
camera.
that.
Yeah, is in front of my camera, expressing myself in whichever way I choose to do that. Um, so now it's just more about what we were talking about, solidifying, grounding that identity of I am somebody that produces these things,
Yeah.
expresses myself through making my videos.
Back to astrology.
That yeah.
Yeah.
So
Still works.
so the grounding part is why I wanted to talk about astrology. So you know how in your big three, right? You have your sun, your rising, and your moon. I've always thought I was like a heavy water sign person, super emotional because I am emotional, super sensitive. Um, because in my big three, there's two water signs and a fire sign.
Yeah.
So that combination is quite a little crazy. But
Believing that it's predominantly emotional.
yeah, because that's how, from what I learned, the sources I got the information from, that's what I was led to believe it was the cause of it, that I would ride some pretty intense emotional waves. That's how I understood the information that I was given.
And she's also saying like that her conscious and subconscious operations through her mind were based off of those main three.
Yeah, like what I was experiencing in my day-to-day life, it seemed like it made sense what I was reading about my astrology, my
Yeah.
birth chart. But as I got deeper into my reading and understanding my birth chart, and I just came to this understanding a few weeks ago, I have predominantly air signs. In your entire birth chart, you take where you have planetary placements in the different houses in the different signs.
Yeah.
So, in all the houses and the signs, specifically the signs is what I'm talking about right now, because when you get into houses, it's even more in depth detail. But
Yeah. It's
we're
intricate.
talking about the signs right now. I predominantly have a lot of air signs.
Air signs. Yeah.
And so, what I gathered from that, actually, I had ChatGPT help me break this down.
Hey, you youngins in this chat GBT shit, I know I'm only 28 years old.
Youngins is
Uh,
crazy.
it's only
We're
because
28 and a half, D'Angelo.
it's
We're
only because
not
I
old.
feel 48 sometimes. Um,
I
that
definitely
thing
don't feel
is
48.
legit. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I had ChatGPT break it down to me so that I could really get the gist of it, and I wasn't trying to just go off of my assumptions like I did last time where
Yeah.
you see I thought it was emotional. Um and so basically it's not an emotional wave, to my understanding, that I'm struggling with in my day to day, what causes me to go up and down, up and down. I thought those were just my emotions were just running all over the place, and I would try and get a hold of it, but it didn't seem like that was necessarily doing anything.
Yeah. Being what she's saying right now, predominantly water sign um, controlled,
Yeah,
as if the emotional waves were all water sign controlled.
yeah, you're right. I don't think I mentioned that.
No.
Being a water sign,
Thinking that the
the,
emotional wave was coming from her water
because
signs.
water signs are very emotional.
Yeah.
They're very up and down, which made sense being a Cancer and a Scorpio. But what I learned from how ChatGPT was breaking down all of my heavy air sign placements, accompanied with fire signs as well, because those were the top two, which I had the most placements in, and then it
Fire and
was
air,
water, and there was like one earth placement, which makes so much sense because what to
Grounded
conclude
is
all
not
of
her
that
thing.
is I struggle so much with grounding myself. I'm just not designed like that. I have to make sure I'm consciously aware of and putting in effort to ground myself because I have so much air placements. That's where that what seemed like an emotional wave
Emotional
was
wave.
coming from. A thought would pop up and I would just sway in the wind, whichever way that thought or emotion was flowing me. And I was just I the reason I struggle with overthinking is because I'm always in my head so much. I'm not focused on consciously grounding myself, and I just get lost in my head, and it causes so many issues. Tying it back around to the issues with identity, I learn new things about who I could be or what I could potentially like. And we obviously understand we have free will. We can pivot, shift, and change whenever we want to. So sometimes being in my head so much about that and not grounding any of that energy, I drive myself insane into like a spiral, not like into a spiral, because I'm
Yeah.
like, well, if I could change who I want to be whenever I want, like, what is the point in picking anything? Like,
Well, there's a point in picking everything because you get to choose.
yeah.
But you're right. That the the thinking, the overthinking, and the airflow, and the wind taking upon every thought, like she said, caused an emotional wave. It wasn't a water sign
Oh,
reaction.
yeah. So maybe there are some emotional waves I'm dealing with, but
She's dealing with the emotional waves, but only because the airflow of thought without grounding caused her to become emotional. So it wasn't in a water inflicted emotion that caused her to feel these things.
it
It
was my
was
thoughts.
in her thoughts in the air with no attachment to ground, something to pull her back and bring her back to any of those thoughts and focus in on any one of them. She allowed every thought to flow in the wind, and every thought flowing in the wind with no grounding, no sense of security caused her an emotional distress.
Hmm. And it's interesting. The narrative around um, smoking and drinking alcohol is so negative, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, smoking's not good for your lungs. Alcohol
Drink some mullein
is
leaf tea.
never it's good for you. It's not like
It
giving
just
you
doesn't have
any
health
nutrients.
benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but for someone like me, the way that I was designed and created over many, many, many years of trying to figure this out and overdoing it in both drinking and smoking,
Smoking weed, by the way, just so you guys all know.
I have figured out why I reach for it so quickly and why because if anybody has seen any of my other videos, I've talked many times about how I want to stop drinking or I want to stop smoking and I just I have not been I'm not going to say I can't do it because who knows and maybe it just won't work for me or I just won't want to at some point. But so far I have not been able to stop because I actually do feel quite grounded
Yes.
when
Those
I
are her
drink.
anchors.
It used to be smoking that would do that for me too, and it still somewhat does, but it at where I'm at now, it more so I caused myself a lot more anxiety and stress because of the timing of it. It makes it so much harder to think and to move through things. But very much so, if I were to have a drink or take a shot or something, it actually helps ground me
Yeah.
and I'm not just stuck floating around up here and getting pushed around by my thoughts. I guess I just need to find some kind of like healthy balance, I guess. I don't know how you would balance that, but it's more so just like I need to figure out how to not overconsume it. Which is not
Well,
that hard now that I'm getting older. I'm not old. Like we said, I'm only 28 and a
yeah.
half. But like obviously the alcohol starts to hit you differently. The hangovers start to
Yeah.
feel differently the next day. So it's like I'm naturally already not wanting to like drink so much at one time.
Well, yeah, I just think that there's like some grounding anchors that you haven't discovered in your identity
True.
yet.
Well, and maybe just not even solidified and grounded them those practices themselves and
Yeah, maybe
actually
tried
created the
once or
habit.
twice, like we talked about. Only trying them a few times and actually seeing if there's something that takes us out of the airspace, the headspace in which our thoughts roam in and bring them back down to earth and allow them to
Yeah.
calm themselves.
Yeah.
Because we, like you said, know that drinking and smoking does do that
Mhm.
with side effects and
Yeah.
obviously cons
There's
to
a
the
price.
pros. Not everything's perfect. Yeah, you pay
Mhm.
a price for it, but there's definitely things that we can adopt in our identity that'll allow us to do the same things that those things do.
It's tough though because I understand there's healthier ways to
Alternatives.
ground yourself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I genuinely love the way a good shot makes me
How you
feel.
feel, you
Honestly,
know?
I don't know that I'm ever going to do that,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't
I
know.
know, but there's no saying that you have to stop those things and
Yeah.
that
I'm not
things
trying to
will
live a
only get
squeaky
better to stop.
clean. Yeah, I'm not trying to live a squeaky clean perfect life. We've had this
No.
conversation multiple times before. You don't get any extra trophies, medals, accomplishments, nothing for getting to the end of your life with the most pristine, perfectly healthy body.
No, no,
And
you
I've
get
always felt strongly about that. So I'm still going to do, as long as it's not causing in my present moment some health problems, which I haven't had so far,
yeah.
then I'm going to do what I want to do.
No, absolutely. You don't have to stop. My point was that there's other things that can do the same thing. So, like for me specifically, we talked about how I'm naturally a grounded person. I'm an earth sign primarily, and with air and fire sign mixed together. But there's other things that I love to do that ground me that weed and alcohol don't do. Drawing. I love martial arts. Anything that has to do with weapons and shit. I've said that before on here. Those are things that ground me, things that make me feel good and great about myself and are a part of my identity that I
Mhm.
can do that are alternatives to those things,
Yeah.
that aren't so very healthy for me. So I've found a lot of things that allow me to ground myself that don't involve that.
I was just thinking about like other things I like to do too. I like moving my body as well.
Reading is one for you. I
And
remember.
reading. I do really like reading.
Yeah.
Um, moving my body, reading. I also really do like socializing, but, and that might sound crazy because I don't have many friends,
Yeah.
but, and even the like one friend I do have, I don't hang out with her that much, but I think it's just because, and this is no shade to the one friend that I do have, if I'm gonna go socialize, I'm tired of it, of being around people that I don't really like have much in common with or feel like I can fully open and fully express
Be
myself with.
vulnerable with.
And I'm not saying I feel this way around this one friend that I have. I'm not saying that at all. I just mean in general, like I just don't go out and hang out with a bunch of people because oftentimes it's not, I don't mesh well with these people, and I've lived my whole life. I've had enough encounters and experiences with people that I do not align with and do not mesh very well with, to the point where like I just, if it doesn't feel right to me, I don't want to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's supposed to be based off of how you feel and
Yeah.
who resonates with you and who doesn't. Not everybody will. I mean, you'll have people come into your life for a short period of time and shit, they gotta go. Sorry, you don't belong here no more.
Hmm. Or I might just slowly creep out the back door.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I love doing, what is that called? The Irish goodbye? I
The Irish
love a
goodbye.
good Irish goodbye. D'Angelo will want to say bye to everybody, and I'm over here already in the car,
I
and he's
am
talking
a
about, where'd
Syrian.
you go? I'm
Yeah,
not saying bye to 50 people right now.
I know, I know. But another thing, like what she was saying, I I'm very well much at the point in my life where I will tell whoever needs to go to get the hell out of my life. I don't care anymore. I've almost completely been done with sparing the feelings of other people if it compromises how I feel myself, especially if I know I'm not being rude. So if I know I'm respecting myself and making this decision and telling somebody how I feel, not caring how they feel, I'm going to tell them. And I
Hmm.
don't care anymore. I've very much stepped into that. That's definitely a higher part of myself that I've stepped into, and it's felt really good actually doing that.
And it's a shame that it's often looked at as like
A bad thing.
being rude, but it's like, you're a grown ass man or woman. I'm going to tell you how it is. And if you don't like it, you don't have to like it.
You
But I
don't.
can still tell you that. And oftentimes people will be so mad just because you said something to them about
Because you
themselves.
expressed yourself.
I'm sorry. Are we not grown? Are we
We
not adults here?
hold the fuck up. I don't care if you're grown or not.
I'm not no babysitter, okay? This is how it's gonna go.
Yeah, this is how I'm gonna make it. I don't know what to tell you.
And that circles back around to D'Angelo's identity,
Yeah.
him being very firm in who he is. And that's not to say I don't have parts of me that I am very firm on. Those parts I'm not experimenting in. It's more so, I think, just how learning that it is crucial for me as a person to express myself has been part of it and how I want to express myself.
I think she's finding more of like what makes her and her identity in a fun way and in a way that allows for the joy and the excitement and the adventure in her life. Because those parts are not so missing, like she said. Sorry, the other parts that we're talking about. It's more the like what makes me excited about me that she's looking
And
for.
excited about my life. Like, what do I want to be doing? That, like you said, most days you wake up excited to go do whatever that is.
Yeah, yeah.
And I genuinely feel like I'm getting there. I also am a stay at home mom to a five and a
24/7.
half to 24/7 to a 5.5 year old. And we don't just dump our child on our family members or
We're very
anything
conscious
like that,
parents.
because not, and it's not even like not trusting. I trust our family members with our child's safety. It's more so just, and our family members know this, we are very serious and protective and conscious, like Dan just said, of how we want to raise Kaylani. And I know not all of our family members feel the same way. So that, long story short, it's just I'm with her all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of like trying to navigate how I want my days to go, with also trying to figure out how I want to express myself and how to like mesh all of that together has been the struggle of a lifetime.
Yeah.
But we keep chipping away at it, because what else is there to do?
That's all you can do. We're the predominant influence on our child, so
Yeah.
um
I think this was a good episode. Should
great
we
episode.
bring around the 3 trivia questions?
Dang, we going to the trivia.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of nervous that you might get all 3 of these,
All
but
right, let's see.
I started off with a very easy one that I know you know,
Let's see
just
what kind of
to help you
smarty
out.
pants I am.
Okay. What is the capital of California? Oh boy.
Sacramento. Shut
Oh,
up.
I was gonna
Get
say,
the
boy.
hell out of here.
The way
Come
you
on,
looked
girl.
at me, I was gonna say,
I
oh
know.
shit.
I knew that'd be
Okay.
suspenseful.
Okay. So these other 2 is gonna be make or break.
Okay.
The hardest one is the last one. Okay. How many bones are in the human body?
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. Smarty pants.
I don't know how many goddamn bones are in the human
Take a
body.
guess.
Is it over 1,000?
No. And
Okay.
that's your only hint.
Well, shit. What the hell? What kind of? I don't know. Around 300.
Is your answer 300?
Yeah, whatever.
206.
Okay.
Okay, so this last
I gotta
question.
get 2 out of 3, huh?
Hey, if you don't get it, you got to take a
Fucking
shot.
bones in the body. Come on.
But is taking a shot such a bad consequence? The
No.
sun is still shining. It's 5:38. We just went into daylight savings time. So like it's
Yeah.
practically summertime. You
Yeah,
want to be
whatever.
taking a shot. Anyways,
Yeah, with
anyways,
how
anyways.
goddamn hot it's been
Not me,
summertime.
not me getting excited. Okay, last question.
He ain't gonna get this one.
Probably not. I mean, you might actually.
Okay, let's do
Which
it.
country is both an island and a continent?
Australia.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I
Come
knew the
on.
last one was going to give it away.
Get out of here.
You still got to take a shot.
Win or lose, you take a shot.
Anyways, this has been such a great time with all of you.
Yeah, this was a
Thank you
great
so much for
episode.
coming.
Thank you for listening. We're back. We're
Absolutely.
better. I'll say better.
Always better.
Always better.
Every time.
1% better every day.
Yeah,
So,
whatever.
get out of my face.
I will catch you guys in the next episode.
Bye.